Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Talk with Rais. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic which is related to cloud security. So without wasting much time, let us move on to today's topic, which is implementing cloud security posture management CSPM through data pipeline. In this session, we will discuss different aspects of CSPM and CSPM implementation through data pipeline. Here is agenda. In this session, we will learn mostly what is CSPM, the role of data pipelines in CSPM, key data sources for CSPM pipelines, pipeline architecture for CSPM, different benefits of CSPM data pipelines, and we will also learn the implementation considerations for CSPM system. What is CSPM? Cloud Security Posture Management, which is also called CSPM, is the process of continuous monitoring cloud infrastructure for security risks and compliance violations. Nowadays, different enterprises are moving towards public cloud. They are moving towards public cloud because of two main reasons. Number one, public cloud provides a highly scalable system and it provides on demand and highly available system. Because of these two main benefits, enterprises are choosing public clouds. In one side, it is providing highly scalable and highly available system, but at the same time it is exposing our public cloud infrastructure towards different security threats. So there must be one system which can have a deep visibility into our public cloud infrastructure and warns us for any security threats, so that we can mitigate any security threats using this CSPM. So key objective for CSPM system is config monitoring, identifying misconfiguration in public cloud infrastructure, ensuring compliance with different standards, remediation guidelines, and automating security assessments. To understand this a bit more, let us take one example. You have two public cloud infrastructure, one is GCP, one other is Azure. In GCP, you have workload VM, which is associated with the network security group rule, which says if request is coming from any source to any destination, simply allow it. At the same time, in Azure, the rule is configured something like this, that if the request is coming from HTTP protocol, if it is coming from particular subnet and it wants to reach to a particular destination, then only allow it, otherwise drop it. From the rule itself, you can see that GCP rule is a very poor rule and it is concerning. Why it is concerning? Because it is saying allow all. That means anybody can log into your system from outside. So hackers can easily access your public cloud infrastructure if the rule allow all is set. But how we will know that this particular inventory or this particular asset is under threat? How we will know? That means there should be some sort of system which has deep visibility into our cloud infrastructure, and in early stage itself it can warn us that this particular resource is under threat, and this particular resource or workload VM has allow all network security group rule. It should not have allow all kind of rule. So CSPM system provides a mechanism to provide such benefits. It provides deep visibility into your public cloud and it warns you for any security risk. But how it will have the deep visibility? It can have deep visibility only when it is continuously scanning your public cloud infrastructure. Right? It will scan and it will get the data of public cloud infrastructure and do analysis on the top of that, then only it can know. So in further slides we'll understand how to gather those data, how to do analysis, how to achieve this all through a data pipeline. Let us understand what is data pipeline. So data pipeline is passing a data from one particular source through a series of stages to a destination. So in this diagram, you can clearly see that we have AWS cloud, GCP cloud, Azure cloud. That means we have different public clouds infrastructures. We want to move that data to a particular central location where we are storing the entire data. In between, we have to pass that data through different stages of a particular system, which is called CSPM system. So here what we are doing, we are fetching the data, we are passing through number of series of steps, and then finally we are storing that data somewhere. So at a very high level, extracting data from somewhere and then passing through series of steps and then finally storing somewhere, that is called data pipeline. The role of data pipelines in CSPM. Like I explained in the previous slide, data pipelines facilitate the collection, processing and analysis of security relevant data. When I say security relevant data, that means in public cloud you have millions of data. Let's say if you talk about the workload VM itself, in workload VM you might have different properties. Let's say you have IP address, you have some name, description, like network security groups rule attached to it, what is the VPC for that. So when you are gathering that data, what data you should gather? There might be there might be some sort of data which is not at all bothering us. For example, some sort of metadata which is just related to some description, etc. We are not concerning, we are not concerned with the description, because description cannot create any security threat. But at the same time, security group rule can be a security threat. That means we should collect that security relevant data. And what they provide us, they enable us to continuous data ingestion from diverse cloud sources, real-time or near real-time security analysis, automated compliance reporting, the ability and correlate data from many different sources. When we are ingesting data, when we are like, when I say ingesting, that means fetching the data. Fetching the data in our CSPM system from the public clouds. Key data sources for CSPM pipelines. In the previous slide, we have seen that we are collecting the data from the public clouds. So in public cloud, there will be millions of data, but we have to collect only those data which is relevant for the security. So what those security relevant data are? Those data are cloud configuration logs. In AWS, there's a service called CloudTrail. Similar to that, in GCP we have audit logs, and in Azure we have activity logs. So what they do, basically whatever operations we are doing in the public clouds, one event is created or logged into these service logs. That this is very crucial service for security perspective. When everything is getting logged into the audit trail or audit logs, that means if we have that audit log data, that data we can use to build a security system. That is security relevant data. Security information and event management data, vulnerability scanners, IAM logs. IAM logs are again a very important security related data. IAM provides you identity and access management. That means who is accessing the system, what permissions they have, what user group they have, what user they have, what service account they have. This is very crucial information, because using that only anybody can access your system. So this is very sensitive security information, and we should ingest them in our CSPM system to build a robust security system. Similar to that, network traffic logs, cloud asset inventories, etc., etc. Data pipelines architecture for CSPM. Like I said in the previous slide, that we are fetching the data from data source, and we are going to put that data into the target store, and in between that two stages there will be series of stages. What are those series of stages? Number one, data ingestion, data transformation, data analytics or data analysis, alerting, reporting, data storage, etc., etc. In the further slide, we'll discuss each stage in deep. Like in the previous slides, we have discussed our data sources, public clouds. In public clouds, there are some key data sources. For example, audit log, IAM, etc., etc. We want to collect that information and put in a central consolidated target store. To fetch that and store that, we need one intermediate stage, and essentially we need one platform which is called ingestion platform, which will continuously poll your public cloud at a regular interval and get the data into this CSPM system. When I say that poll at a regular interval, that means, let us take one example. In your public cloud there was 1000 workload VMs. If you are doing only one time ingestion, then you will not have a real time data. Let us say someone went and deleted 900 workload VMs. You are left with only 100 workload VMs in public cloud. But if you have in the first go had received 1000 workload VMs, then your security compliance will be wrong. So that means you need a real time data. To need a real time data, you have to continuously poll the public cloud. If you are going to poll public cloud, that means your polling mechanism should be robust enough, and it should not create any rate limit problem. Also, this whole platform which is responsible for the ingestion is called ingestion platform. There is two parts of the ingestion platform. One is ingestion system, another is data transformer. Ingestion system basically fetches particular data, and transformer basically picks only reasonable data out of that and stores that into the consolidated target store. Once you have data inside your target data store, you can analyze that data and make different policies out of that. You can have complete monitoring out of that. You can have remediation engine also for that. One example I am giving here from the previous discussions. Let's say you have created one policy that any workload VM should not have allow rule. So that means you analyze that data and figured out that, okay, this particular or these many number of workload VMs has policy violations. Now you know through the CSPM system at the end user visualization level, you know that, okay, my 50 workload VMs are under threat because they have allow all network policy rule. Similarly, you can have different mechanism like security and remediation mechanism in CSPM, which can be used to auto remediate such kind of incidents, etc., etc. So from the overall perspective, you can think data is flowing through different series of steps and finally reaching to the end user for the consolidated view. This is overall architecture of CSPM implementation through data pipeline. Hope you would have got the sense of it. What are the benefits of CSPM data pipeline? It provides enhanced visibility by providing a comprehensive view of the cloud security posture, automated compliance, continuous monitoring and reporting, faster threat detection, real-time analysis of faster threat detection, real-time analysis for security events, improved incident response, quicker identification and remediation of security issues, increased efficiency for security teams. Now coming to the last slide, which is very important. So far we have learned that, okay, CSPM is some sort of system which basically provides a deep visibility into public cloud infrastructure and gives implementation consideration. In this slide we'll learn what the key properties for a CSPM system should or must has. Number one is scalability. We are dealing with very high volume of data which is coming from the public clouds, so our CSPM system must be very scalable. we must ensure data security. This is very important point. We are actually collecting resources metadata from the public cloud, and public cloud infrastructure belongs to particular customers, and it is a customer data. That means you are importing or fetching customers resources data, so it becomes very sensitive. So we must ensure our CSPM system must ensure the data security, so that any customer data is not breached or any customer data is not leaked. Otherwise it will create legal issues. Integration, because we are connecting to different public cloud infrastructures and different services inside different public cloud infrastructures. So CSPM system must ensure connectivity towards different or diverse cloud services and security tools. Last but not the least, it should be cost effective also. So that is all. Hope you like this video. Thanks a lot.